Hare Krishna everyone. As I mentioned, today is a doubly auspicious day. We've got His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj here. As we all know, he's a very senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and Maharaj has spent a lot of time with Srila Gurudev. So we're lucky to hear some nectarian pastimes that Maharaj would like to share with us. So please give a big welcome to His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj.
The stand is broken, so I'll hold it for you. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to be here. I'm a little late. Tell me what was happening all this while.
So Guru Maharaj, we started the program around 4:30, so we had Kirtan, and then we had homages by disciples and well-wishers. Then we had Arati, the 7 o'clock Arati, and then we followed that by Guru Puja and Pushpanjali. And we're just having Kirtan.
Wonderful. So I hope I didn't hold you up.
Not at all, Guru Maharaj.
Okay. I'm sorry that I had another program scheduled beforehand, so that's why I had to go there. It was a program in the university. And so you all have been celebrating in the most gorgeous way. What happened? Are you all celebrating Guru Maharaj? Thank you, Hare Krishna. In Mayapur there is a big festival today, and today is the first day. It'll go on for 3 days. And because it's Ekadasi, but still I saw there are so many offerings here outside. So this year I am here and I couldn't be in Mayapur because I had some program scheduled here before. But I wrote an offering to Jaypataka Maharaj. For that matter, I want to also mention that last year I actually sent the excerpts from the book that I wrote about Srila Prabhupada, The Ocean of Mercy. So I actually presented those excerpts from that are actually mentioning about Jaypataka Maharaj. So anyway, first I'll just read what I wrote as the offering. Dearest Jaypataka Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisances on this very auspicious day of your Vyasa Puja. All glories to our most glorious spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. I am eternally indebted to Srila Prabhupada for connecting me to you and allowing me to be in your intimate association. For last 41 years, I have been seeing you and becoming more and more aware of your outstanding personality. In the early days, when your body was healthy, we saw what a storehouse of energy and enthusiasm you had been. And since your physical difficulty, I am seeing what an amazing spiritual personality you are. You have visibly transcended your bodily platform and displayed your spiritual situation. Anybody can see how sharp your mind and intelligence has become. Generally, with the difficulties of the gross body, the activities of the mind and intelligence deteriorate. However, in your case, totally defying that rule, your mind and intelligence have become unbelievably active and agile. This is a clear indication that you are not at all affected by the condition of your gross body. Rather, transcending that platform, you are functioning in your pure spiritual consciousness, and your mind and intelligence has become spiritualized. When what you have shown is a real miracle. When you had the stroke, the expert doctors who were treating you declared that you had very little chance of survival. And if you do, then you would become paralyzed for the rest of your life. But proving all of them to be totally wrong, you not only started to move and speak, but travel around the world imparting spiritual knowledge to so many sincere souls for their ultimate spiritual benefit. Seeing your unbelievable performance, those doctors have admitted that you have totally bewildered the medical science by defying their scientific concepts based on years of observations and research. They have never seen such a case in their entire history. People want to see miracles. Undoubtedly, this is one of the greatest miracles that anyone has ever witnessed. You have always been a very prominent leader of our movement, and as an ideal leader, you are showering your love and affection upon whoever you come across. In order to distribute this mercy upon the conditioned souls, you travel around the world in spite of your physical difficulties. Our movement needs exemplary leaders like yourself to continue the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. I know, due to your health condition, it is extremely difficult for you to travel. Therefore, I will request you to take care of your health and stop traveling. You don't have to go to others to uplift them spiritually. Rather, the entire world will come to you wherever you station yourself. Mayapur, the center of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement, of course, is the most ideal place. I haven't been able to render much service to you. Now that you have so many wonderful disciples to serve you, probably you do not need any service from an insignificant person like me. Nevertheless, if you ever feel that there is something that I can do for you, please do not hesitate to let me know. I wish all the best to all your disciples and admirers who are celebrating your Vyasa Puja all over the world today. They are indeed fortunate that they have found you, recognized you, and have taken shelter of your lotus feet. Your humble servant, Bhakti Charu Swami. So, actually, what is very vivid in my mind is the way Jaypataka Maharaj used to be. Like, first thing is that he has taken Srila Prabhupada's instructions so sincerely. Prabhupada asked him to come to Mayapur. And he came, and he was the only one who stayed on. Various other devotees, other disciples of Srila Prabhupada also came to Mayapur, but no one ever committed himself the way he did. And then, of course, Bhavananda Prabhu also joined him in Mayapur. But Jaypataka Maharaj had been in Mayapur from the very outset, from the very beginning of the development of Mayapur. And I have seen how sincerely he took up that responsibility. The early days, just to give you one idea, Mayapur didn't have any source of income. and life was quite difficult. Although Prabhupada said that Calcutta should maintain Mayapur, but the person who was in charge of Calcutta, he didn't want to support Mayapur. And I saw how Jaypataka Maharaj struggled those days just to keep us well fed. Like it was he who used to go out and make all the arrangements to have the devotees sort of meet their basic needs. But at the same time, he was very, very, very full of life and enthusiasm. Like I remember those days, one of our favorite sport was to go to Ganga and not only swim, smear our body with Ganga mud and lie there and let the mud soak in your body, soak in our body. And those days, some other devotees used to come also to Mayapur, especially a group of devotees who were collecting in Japan. That group was led by one leading devotee called Guru Kripa Swami, and the group was known as Namhatta group. And the group consisted of mostly American. I think the only non-American was Bhanu Maharaj. And Bhanu Maharaj was taking care of the deities, that small deities that they used to carry. And Bhanu Maharaj was the only exception, because all others were extremely boisterous, extremely, what should I say, extremely vibrant and, and extremely uncontrollable. Whereas Bhanu Maharaj was diametrically opposed to that. He was so gentle, he barely spoke, completely committed to his service. And sometimes these Namhat groups used to come to Mayapur, as they used to say, to get recharged. Because collecting in Japan was very difficult. And it was Tokyo was a very, very materialistic city. And anyway, so they used to come to get recharged in Mayapur, and along with us, they also used to go to the Ganges. And one of the favorite sport, of course, was wrestling. And so, wrestling there was very difficult because the bank of Ganges was very slippery. Because Ganga mud is very slippery. And so it was a kind of a competition between Mayapur and Namhat group of Guru Kripa Swami. And so at one time, I had to fight with somebody. So they found someone who is more or less of my size. and in no time he defeated me. So they were extremely jubilant. They were rejoicing their victory and our defeat. But Jaypataka Maharaj couldn't tolerate the defeat of Mayapur. He just jumped up and he screamed that, "I'm challenging any one of you, come and fight." And it was so sudden that everyone was quite shocked in a way. Like for a while there was no movement, no sound. And then Guru Kripa indicated someone with his, just to accept the challenge. And he was, I think, the strongest of that group. And that fight was something to just watch. It was something to really watch. And especially the way Jaypataka Maharaj was fighting. He was like a lion. And then at one point, he just picked up the devotee and smashed him on the ground. And now it was our time to rejoice. Jaypataka Maharaj those days used to swim across Ganga with ease. And sometimes somebody tried to also follow, and like it happened in at least in one occasion that I vividly remember. The devotee who was also going, he ran out of breath in midstream. And you know how it is, like Ganga, the current is really strong, especially when you're in midstream. And I mean, he was, he practically gave up, like he was. But when Jaypataka Maharaj heard that him shouting for help, it was not a shout, it was a faint sound that was coming out from his mouth, asking for help. He was quite ahead. He turned around and grabbed him and swam back to the bank with him. So this is how strong and how powerful he was. There are some also very interesting episode that I would like to share with you. Sometimes in the evening, we would get together in his room, and we would read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. And so, one day, while we were reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, we were completely absorbed in it. One English devotee who was the security in charge there, his name was Abhimanyu Prabhu. So he used to be in the British Army. He was a commando in the British Army. And he was extremely, agile, extremely. I have seen him jump from the second floor of the building and land like a cat on the ground. So Abhimanyu Prabhu just came running and says that the dacoits are coming to attack us. So Jaypataka Maharaj's response was that, Abhimanyu, that's your paranoia. So Abhimanyu couldn't tolerate that. He became so upset. And so finally Jaypataka Maharaj said, let's go and meet the dacoits. So we all walked. We picked up some sticks and whatever we could. And when we are going, we are thinking that, like really some serious matter, dacoits are coming to attack. But Jaypataka Maharaj was convinced because staying in Mayapur, he knew that whatever it is, probably one thing he knew, that the dacoits won't attack in the evening. If the dacoits had to attack, they would attack in the middle of the night when everyone is fast asleep. So I didn't, of course, ask him, but I could see from his reaction that he was confident that there was nothing serious about it. But he did it just to kind of pacify Abhimanyu Prabhu. And we came to the main gate, and we did see people are walking towards our temple on the road, Bhakti Siddhanta road, with torches in their hand, and there were many, many torches. And but when they came close by, then we could hear this loud sound, Bolo Hari Hari Bol. That then we realized that they were actually carrying a dead body. And the person may have been quite a well-known or popular, famous person. So there was a big crowd coming along with that, but they were actually coming to. Jaypataka Maharaj didn't say anything. He just turned around and started to walk back to his room. We following him. But sometimes there was threat of dacoits attack. But whenever that real threat came, Jaypataka Maharaj was the first one to be there, right in front of the group. Though we are hundreds of them even at that time, and we are prepared to face any situation. And as you know, like twice Mayapur had been attacked by dacoits, and one attack had been very, very serious. And at that time, that attack, one of our devotees, probably you know Bhakti Raghav Maharaj. Bhakti Raghav Maharaj actually lost his leg due to the bomb blast. He went ahead, kind of throwing stones at the dacoits. Like, that is how courageous the devotees used to be. And then they threw a bomb, and 3 dacoits died. One dacoit was caught. And anyway, 1 or 2 dacoits were caught, and 3 dacoits were died. You know how they died? We used to have a gun. We used to have, yeah. And it was Pankajangri Prabhu who started to shoot at the dacoits from the balcony of the first floor. And he could hit 3 of them. And so I had lots of exciting times in Mayapur in this way. And today I feel, actually I recall those days with fond memories when I see Jaypataka Maharaj. But as I mentioned, like there was a phase, there was a time when he was physically so active. And now we can see that how active he has become in his mind and intelligence. Like his memory has become so sharp, his intelligence has become so clear. And sometimes we get amazed in our meetings with the kind of points that Jaypataka Maharaj comes up with. And we need him to be with us for many, many years to come. And that's why I requested him to take care of his health and rather stay in Mayapur. If he stays in Mayapur, won't you all go to see him? Let's see the hands. Right. So I'll tell him that he should just stay there and give you all an opportunity to go to Mayapur and see him. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. As I mentioned, you all are very fortunate that you have found a spiritual master like him. And you are very fortunate that you have surrendered yourselves at his lotus feet. Thank you all very, very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to His Holiness Jaypataka Swami Maharaj. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. His Holiness Jaypataka Swami Maharaj ki, Srila Jaypataka Maharaj's Vyasa Puja Mahotsav ki, Samobeto Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the wonderful pastimes. So now, one of the other most important part of the program is the prasadam. So if you can please form some lines in the temple hall and outside, we would like to serve you all. Thank you.